Hi, today I want to talk to you about how to effectively speak with someone with hearing loss. Many people who come through my office think that when a person is wearing hearing aids, they automatically can just hear and understand every word that's being said, and that's not always the case. So there needs to be some accommodation for those who have hearing loss and wear hearing aids, and so that's what I'd like to talk about today. So I want to give you some do's and don'ts for how to speak effectively with someone. So the first do is to speak clearly, a little more slowly, and enunciate. You don't want to speak so slow that it's insulting, but slowing down rate of speech can really help someone be able to process what's being said. Another tip is to just use a normal speaking volume. You don't have to yell, just use your normal tone, and again, just speak a little more slowly. You want to maintain good eye contact. You don't want to turn away from someone while you're speaking to them, and especially not turn and walk out of a room. That is one of the biggest complaints I hear in the office between spouses, is that I can't understand my husband, but he turns and walks to the other room. That's not realistic for helping someone hear. You want to look at a person right in the eyes and speak normally. Another good tip is to ensure good lighting. If you're in a restaurant or in a room and it's very dimly lit, that doesn't help someone be able to see your lip movements. So moving into a brightly lit area or turning on a light is really going to help that person. Avoid covering your mouth. So if you're eating or talking, don't scratch your face or put your hand in front of your face at all, or a piece of clothing, anything like that. Make sure the whole face is visible for that person. Minimize background noise. That's not always easy to do. If you're in a restaurant or a group setting, it might not be possible. But let's say you're at a party and there's a lot of commotion. You might take that person into another room or to a corner that's not as crowded, where you can speak to them, where the noise level around you is a little lower. If that person's getting really frustrated, don't just brush them off and say, oh, never mind. It would be more helpful to say, I will tell you again when we're in a quieter place. You don't want to make that person feel left out or that you're annoyed or frustrated with them, because it's just not their fault when it's that noisy. It also helps to provide context. So if someone doesn't understand you the first time, just reword what you're saying. They might have understood several words you said and they're just not making sense of it. So you can repeat it in a different way or remind them, remember we were talking about this topic, and ask a question again, and usually they'll get it. It's also helpful to get someone's attention. So if your spouse has hearing loss or hearing aids, they're sitting watching TV, and you just start talking to them without warning, they're not focused on your voice at all. So they're more focused in on the TV. And so by the time they start to hear you and realize you're speaking to them, they're only catching maybe half of what you said. So make sure you say their name first, tap them on the shoulder to get their attention and make sure they're focused and ready to listen, and they should really understand what you're saying. And above all, just be patient and understanding. People do the best they can. And again, even with hearing aids, it can still be difficult to understand what someone's saying. Hearing and listening are two different things. So many people may hear what you're saying. They hear you talking, they hear a sound, but it's just not making sense. So be patient, be kind, minimize frustrations. So some things not to do. Absolutely don't shout at someone. You may have someone in your life who has untreated hearing loss. They don't wear hearing aids, and you do have to raise your voice to a louder level for them to hear you, but don't in any way shout or yell or show aggression. Also, avoid using exaggerated facial cues or lip movements. That can just make a person feel kind of silly. So I hope these tips really help you or someone in your life, or it's just a friendly reminder. Many of us realize these tips and we just don't put them into practice. So I hope this helps, and stay tuned for more videos.